my grind, I shut down shop. They passed me on the bottom, but I crept to the top. I'm done with depression, progression is the stop. Told them I don't ever slip, yeah, I'm on the clock. You gon' respect my grind, cause I shut down shop. They passed me on the bottom, but I crept to the top. I'm done with depression, progression is the stop. Told them I don't ever slip, yeah, breezy on the clock. I'm on it, I'm on it, and I ain't clocking out till I collected all the money. They passed me on the bottom, but see, life is kinda funny. Grind so hard, competition running from it. Impressions in the sand.
Alright, man, so what's up, man?
Good, Brody? How you doing?
Man, good, man. Thank you for inviting us to the camp, man. Getting to see the young spinners, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you developed, man. I'm really honored and proud. In case people don't know, this is Lavell McCullers.
Brother.
My brother. My younger, big brother. He's from this area, man, Harford County. Was the quarterback of Havre Grace Warriors, was the quarterback of the Aberdeen Eagles. Legendary Coach Brooks' protege. He's taken his talents to new heights. You know, he didn't go to the NFL like we all wish we could have, but you know, he has morphed his talents and put it into the community, which it really resonates with everybody, and especially me being a former football player, because growing up we didn't have so many opportunities that these youngins have, and to see somebody who actually seen a glaring hole come back to his community or give the know-hows and ins and outs of where he felt as though he didn't have, man, it's just a great thing. And we're gonna learn about what it takes to be a great quarterback. We're gonna learn about the recruiting process. We're just gonna learn about Lavell McCullers and AIM Quarterback Academy in general. You know, I want to ask you straight up, what got you into sports?
Oh man, you taking it back. Honestly, I don't even know, bro. I just, from the time I can remember, it's just mom and dad put us in sports. I mean, I loved it from the start. I mean, I always wasn't the best, but I always put in the work and had fun playing it, which translated to me as I got older, becoming an elite quarterback and elite player. So, I mean, I can't really remember what got me into sports.
Did you always play quarterback?
No, I actually started out as running back.
Okay.
So up until about 12, I want to say about 11, 12 years old, I was running back. I was always good at that, but I always was throwing the ball too. Right, so my coaches always used to call halfback toss pass for me. I would catch it, run outside, and throw it down the field.
Wow.
And so I always had an arm. But once I went from Havre Grace back to Aberdeen Bulldogs, and I seen that there was a hole at quarterback, but we had about 8 or 9 running backs.
Okay.
So I was like, man, let me transition to it. At first I didn't like it, but shout out to Coach Troy, Coach Kelly, Coach Lavell, all of those coaches. They really pushed me and stayed on me about playing quarterback because they seen something in me, and then, I mean, I just grew to love it. So yeah, about 11 to 12 years old, I transitioned to quarterback, and it's been history since.
What do you think it takes to make a young quarterback? Like, what do you think it takes, you know, what are like 5 steps? What are the steps, so to say?
I wouldn't say it's so much of steps, but I would just say some characteristics. You know, number 1, they got to be a leader. Number 2, they got to be passionate about this position. As we know, it's a hard position. Not everybody can play quarterback, so having a passion for it is one thing that's really, really important. Having the dedication, and then putting in the work. Right, especially as a young quarterback, they're going to have bad mechanics, bad feet work, but if they stick with it, get out there early on, it'll definitely help them out. So I would say just being a leader, having a passion for the game, having a drive to want to get better. Of course, mentally, right, preparing the right way, trying to learn defenses, learn offenses, learn your concepts, learn different mechanics, and then yeah, I would say that what makes a good young quarterback, right?
That's dope. So where are you based out of right now?
I'm in Fredericksburg, Virginia. So I service Spotsylvania, Stafford, Fredericksburg, all the way up to like Woodbridge, Prince William County.
And you travel?
Yeah, I travel. Yep.
Okay,
So I do travel. I've been all over the place coaching quarterbacks. I've coached at different camps, so like FBU camp, Under Armour camp, Rivals camp.
Know about those?
Definitely coached at those. So right now I'm in Virginia, but I do travel.
Okay, cool. So what made you throw this illustrious camp today?
Well, I just feel like I always wanted to come home and give back. About 2 years ago, I had not a quarterback camp. It was more so just for the kids, where I brought the community out, former players. It was a good turnout, good success, but I always wanted to come back and give back to my specific position. I remember as I was coming up out here, we didn't really have trainers or really QB coaches. Like you said, Coach Brooks was a great coach, legendary coach in the area, but he wasn't really training, right? He was just coaching the quarterbacks at his high school. So I felt like it was a need, right? So I just came back, wanted to give back to the community, share the knowledge that I have, because I feel like when I was young and I was their age, I didn't get that knowledge. And it kind of showed when I went to college, right? I was a little bit behind on reading defenses and knowing some of the terminology. And I don't want these youngins to be in the same position I was. So I want them to be prepared. So that's really the reason why I do the development camp. And it's especially seeing the quarterbacks in our area, bro. It's like when I was coming up, I was really the only quarterback in the area. It might have been one or two others, but now you got quarterbacks out here from John Carroll, Hartford Tech, Northeast, Perryville.
It is a
good turnout. And I'm just happy that the county is elevating and improving.
For sure, man. I want to step back just a little bit, just to retrospect, just to let people know that, you know, you are just a guy who did play sports, who did elevate, and I want people to know that the hard work does translate.
Yes, it does.
So I wanted to ask you, you know, when you were in high school, you know, what were the things that made you go to the next level as far as like recruiting and training?
Well, I would say the work for sure. As you know, being my brother, you know how Dad was on us about football and about just training.
For sure.
Having a dedicated parent or dedicated support system definitely helped. Man, I was at different camps, different training sessions, all out in Arundel and Gettysburg and Virginia. Man, I was everywhere.
Safe to say that you honed in on your skills a lot.
Yeah, I put in the work. I had to really, really put in the work, put in that effort to get seen. And then, as you know, when I was coming up, this area wasn't really highly recruited. Even me, I wasn't highly recruited out of high school. I was more so under-recruited, but I put myself on the map by going to these camps, going to these colleges, going to making sure I'm on Twitter and I'm contacting the coaches, all types of stuff, man. You got to be proactive in your recruiting. That's what I wanted.
Okay, so you were very proactive.
Yes.
You were hitting the pavement. You weren't just tuning your skills. You were also seeking colleges, looking, and the hunger. You had a hunger for it.
Yep. I would say that's super important, especially for quarterbacks nowadays with the NIL deals, with the transfer portal. You can't wait to get seen. You got to put yourself on the map as early as possible, and then you also got to be proactive about it. Reach out to coaches every week. Go to the camps every week. Email, call. All of those good things are going to help you get your film and your put yourself on the right platform.
In so many words, I can say, you really grind for it, and that is like the epitome of the conversation series. So we've been going around from owner to owner, or black entrepreneurs to entrepreneurs, and figuring out, you know, what it is that takes them to the next level. How did they get their business started? You know, how does their business survive? And the number one thing that I can say that always connects them all is that they all were hungry for it. They all took their passion and put it and focused into something. And no matter if they were knocked down, they always got back up. That is a common thing that I promise you will see in this conversation series. So yeah, man, I wanted to ask, just to get off of just the personal, what made you make this into a business?
I mean, just like you said, putting your passion into something. Right, I mean, after I didn't get drafted, I decided to go a different route with my career. I still wanted to be around, right? Still wanted to give knowledge back to the youngins. Still wanted to put my game on their game and add to their tool belt. So, I mean, I started off just training all positions. Started off as like a skills trainer, speed and agility trainer. But I felt like I wasn't giving the kids what I knew. You get what I'm saying? Yes, I can teach that. Yes, I can teach receivers and DBs and all of that, but what I grew up playing is a quarterback, and what I got my knowledge in is quarterback. So I transitioned to quarterback training. I didn't know how it was going to go at first, but then, I mean, it was a need. So then as I started getting more clients, I was like, man, let me actually make this into a brand, make this into a business where we doing give back events, doing back to school backpack giveaways.
Have you done those?
Yeah. Every year I do a backpack giveaway. Every year we do the Christmas camp got toys that go to the less fortunate. So just making it into a brand, making it into something that's a staple in the community so people know it.
And that became AIM.
Yep, and that became AIM Quarterback Academy. And AIM stands for athlete is a mindset, right? So it's a mindset. Everything that we do as an athlete, you got to have a mindset first. And then also as a quarterback, of course, mindset is everything. All right, so that's what AIM stands for, and that's how I started my business.
What was the struggles of obviously you going to college, going to the next level? What were the struggles, man, of moving away from your family, obviously being such a homebody, knowing everybody to now you don't know anybody, and still keeping your mental focus on the game and getting better every day? Because I know that had to be hard. How can you give that to some of the student athletes or the people who's about to transition now?
Well, I would say, man, struggles was a lot of them. I mean, of course, as you know, I moved away all the way across the country at like 15, 16 years old by myself, which was cool, right? You get to experience the world, but I mean, just everyday struggles of trying to find something to eat, trying to find money to live. I mean, trying to get to practice every day. I mean, and then of course on the field, man, when I moved and transitioned, I wasn't the starter. So like going from being a starter all your life to being a backup is a mental game.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more about that.
I mean, and it just comes down to really knowing what you want, right? Do you really want this? Because if you do, you're going to keep putting in the work, you're going to keep grinding and have the faith that it's going to come true. And that's all I did, man. I put my head down and went to work. I didn't pout because I wasn't starting. I didn't cuss out the coaches. I didn't have a grudge.
You heard him. He didn't cuss out the coaches. No. He didn't cuss the coaches out. Because I know a lot of you youngins, man, y'all don't have, for whatever, the bandwidth.
Yeah.
But y'all got to start knowing that you got to know who you're talking to.
Yep.
I see a lot of kids, man, they get this special treatment, they go away, now they want to fight the coach. Earn your position.
You gotta earn it.
Earn your keep. It's an old saying that you eat what you kill. Go kill that position. Go get your preparation right, you know? And you can learn this by a great quarterback. You can learn this by the people. Learn, you know, that this interview isn't just to highlight a man. It's to let you know that there's ups and downs in life, but you go through them and you capture what you can, and you eat what you kill.
Yep.
AIM Quarterback also has apparel. If you would like to order the sizes, all you gotta do is hit Lavell McCullers at.
Yeah, all you gotta do is find me at aimpassingacademy.com, and you can find training schedules, training sessions, apparel on there, anything that you're looking for, advice on aimpassingacademy.com.
Thank you for that. Holla at him. All right, man, I heard you're an author.
Yes, sir.
All right, so what you write?
About 2 years ago, I wrote a book called The Recruiting Compass.
The Recruiting Compass.
Yep.
So I'm guessing it has to do with recruitment.
Yes.
Okay, so give me some on it.
When I first started my business, I kind of wanted to add the recruiting piece to it, just to give people the game of what I went through and how they can actually navigate the recruiting process.
Oh, right. Wow. So you gave the game on how kids can get recruited, or just how to just the steps on getting recruited? So
both, right?
Okay.
Letting them know the steps on that it is that they have to take to get recruited, but also kind of telling them like what they need to do, especially early on, like signing up for the NCAA clearinghouse.
What is that?
Well, it's called the Eligibility Center now. It's just every person that's going to play a sport in college has to register for the Eligibility Center.
You hear what he's saying?
They get an eligibility number. And it just tracks your progress through high school, making sure you're taking the right credits, making sure you're eligible to play at the next level, all of those good things.
And you cannot play in the next level collegiate sports if you don't have this clearinghouse.
Nope.
Oh,
I done seen kids have offers or scholarship offers on the table and get to their senior year and they about to graduate and they haven't registered for the clearinghouse and can't go nowhere. So you do have to do that. Recommend signing up early as possible. 9th grade, 10th grade, 8th grade. As soon as your recruiting process gets started, definitely want to do that, get that out the way. There is a fee for it. I think it's about $100, I think.
Okay.
It might have changed now. But there's also free waivers too. So.
And this is all in your book?
Yeah, it's in the book.
Okay.
Yep. So everything from like that on how to get noticed, right? What you should be doing on Twitter, how it should be optimized, what a message to a college coach should look like, and then just also sprinkling in my journey and how I went through that process as well. So it's definitely a good navigation tool, hence the name, the Recruiting Compass, to help them at least get started in the recruiting process and know the ins and outs of it.
All right. Well, where can they find that book at?
You can find it on Amazon. Amazon.com. Just go to type it in the search bar, the Recruiting Compass, and it'll pop up.
Okay, cool, man. Not only is he a coach, a quarterback coach, an entrepreneur, but author and author. This man is working. You see, when you have a passion, it isn't just you don't just do the surface layer things. You gotta do it all. This man's hitting all of it. And it all stems from his love of football, I believe.
Yep. Love for football, and then it's also just wanting to give back, man. Just share my knowledge, because what I'm going to do with it now. You get what I'm saying? I'm not playing no more, so just giving it down to the young kids, sharing the knowledge so that they can help be successful. Also, it's just stuff that I wish I knew when I was going through the process, right? Of course, I had people, a good support system, but they were new to it too, so they didn't really know about it. So just trying to help the kids know about it early as possible, because now people are getting recruited earlier in their process now.
What is the earliest a kid can get recruited?
I mean, shoot, man, they offering kids at 6th grade, 7th grade now. Mind you, it's just a verbal.
7th grade.
Yeah, mind you, it's a verbal offer. It's not a committable offer, but it does show that the colleges do know who you are, and you're on their radar.
Imagine how talented you would have to be on a 6th, 7th grade level. Wow.
I would say that also puts pressure on you too, because now that they offered you, you got to perform up to that level to keep that offer, right? So if I'm an 8th grader and Maryland came and offered me a verbal scholarship in 8th grade, they're following me throughout my whole high school career, right? So now if I'm not performing, that offer's going to get taken away off the table. Wow. So it's a lot of pressure too that comes with it.
And imagine the pressure of if you commit to this school, but you want to go to this school.
Yep.
Wow.
The recruiting process it's a lot.
And this is all in your book again.
Yes.
Recruiting compass. Okay. Well, I want to transition and ask, a little bit of, we got the personal, we know you're from Harford County, we know you're a quarterback, we know that you're a hard worker, but give us a little bit of your story, man. Like, what happened? Like, can you give us a story a little bit?
I mean, without getting into too many details, the first college I went to just wasn't the right environment for me. Got in a little bit of trouble, and decided to, I didn't get kicked out of school, but had to take a couple semesters off. And when I was going to take those semesters off, I just decided to change environments, move out to California, which was a good change of scenery.
Where'd you go?
City College of San Francisco.
Wow.
So moved from Marist College to City College of San Francisco. Journey there was pretty good. Of course, I had to overcome being a backup and battling for the starting position, but once I did, it was books. 3,000 yards and 30 touchdowns later. Went to Prairie View.
Wow. What is your probably your most craziest stat or game stat, or what are do you have any records, or do you have? Can you share some of that? I know you're a humble guy, but.
Yeah, my best game, I would say, when I was in City College of San Francisco, we was playing American River.
Okay.
At the time, actually, they were #1 in the state, and we were #2 in the state of California. And it was a lot of trash talking, a lot of jawing back and forth during the week. You know how that goes. But on Saturday, I lit them up, man. 566 yards, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. And we won by 30-some points. So
I would hope so.
Yeah, so we solidified ourselves as the best team in the state. And that was one of my best games, actually. And after that, man, I was talking to Rhett Lashley. He was the coach for Auburn at the time.
Okay.
Kevin Sumlin from Texas A&M.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Kevin Sumlin?
Yeah, I was talking to a lot of people, man.
Okay.
Of course, I mean, it never panned out to offer or anything, but that definitely put me on the map for these other schools as well.
And you gotta, so explain continue your story, please.
Yeah.
You were saying you were at City College.
So I went to City College, battled it out, had that game, had a good year, and then went to Prairie View A&M.
Okay, so you transferred from JUCO. Because that was a JUCO school?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Transferred from JUCO, junior college, to a Division I AA. I was actually going to go to Eastern Michigan at first, but then decided I wanted to go somewhere more so.
What changed the?
Well, I would say I didn't put football first in this instance. I put more of an experience and what I wanted to learn about our culture first. Okay. So I decided to go to an HBCU down south. Okay. Wanted to see what the culture was about, wanted to learn more about our people, wanted to be, in tune with that HBCU culture, which was a great experience. I mean, when I went to Prairie View, man, that was the best time of my life.
Yeah?
Playing football and being entrenched in the culture.
Can you speak on the HBCU culture for those who may be thinking about, or maybe undecided?
What do you want to know about it?
Well, just, maybe
man.
the difference between HBCU and a regular and
PWO.
What, the pros and cons would be.
I mean, I would say, dang, man, that's tough. I mean, the difference is, obvious difference, right? The more of our people, more colored, more so teaching you about our culture and what we went through and how that HBCU came to be.
Okay.
You know, how they fought through slavery and how they fought for our civil rights and things like that. And then, of course, it's just like a big, honestly, going to HBCU was like a big family because, you know, it's all of us. So looking out for each other, making sure everybody's straight. Of course, there was always, the cons would be, you know, always arguments and stuff like that, just like any other school. But, I mean, I can't really say too many cons. It was more so all pros.
Okay.
And then, of course, the teachers, they was for you. They wanted to see you succeed, help you out, all those good things.
So if somebody was to say, I want to go to HBCU, or I want to go to a regular school, but they want to get exposure, but at the same time, they don't want to go the wrong. What I'm trying to say is the kid may want to go get exposure, or a kid may just want to have a good time in school.
Got you.
Which school would they rather pick? I mean, if you want to get more exposure, would you rather go to HBCU or a regular school?
I mean, I'm a realist, man. I'm gonna be real. I don't tell lies. So if you really want the exposure, you gotta go to a bigger school, right? But nowadays,
that's kind of what I wanted to know.
Yeah, nowadays though, you can be found from anywhere.
Okay.
Right. Nowadays, there's the HBCU combine, so that's separate from the NFL combine. So there's more opportunities nowadays for HBCUs and smaller schools to get seen. But I mean, it really comes down to what you want for your future. Right, if you want that exposure, you could find an HBCU that gives you that exposure, but it might be better for you to go to a PWO or a bigger school. But if you want to learn more about your culture, be around your people, you know, things like that, then of course HBCU is where it's at.
All right, cool. So I want to ask you, how do you feel as somebody who's newly graduated, just by the hair of your chinny chin chin, just missed the NIL deals? How do you feel about that? And just first of all, how do you feel about it?
I mean, I'm happy for them. I'm very happy that we're getting paid. Well, not we, but college athletes are getting paid for their time and all the work that they put in, man. Being a college athlete, I know how much they put in, right? I know how much time they spend and how much work they're putting in. So to be compensated for it, it's really long overdue. And then, I mean, I just feel like, shoot, man, I wish it was there when I was there, man. I was starting quarterback at an HBCU down in Texas, so I know I could have had some NLI deals. But, I mean.
So, do you think that there's any cons into kids getting paid before becoming pros? Do you think that Deion Sanders deserves the scrutiny that he's been getting just for putting spotlight on something that just needed to be checked anyways?
I would say there's definitely cons, just like anything. There's always cons with everything in life. Just the fact that kids will get lazier. I mean, but it also can be a pro to where it makes a kid go harder because they want to earn that money. It just gives them a sense of entitlement to things like that. So there's always cons with it, but I think the pros outweigh the cons as far as that situation goes. And then Coach Prime, I mean, I don't have nothing bad to say about Coach Prime, man. I love what he's doing. I wouldn't say I wish, because my dad did the same thing with us as far as like making sure that we had a platform and we were putting in the work and things like that. So, I mean, he's doing everything that I would do with my son. I would do the same thing, just like Bronny and Bron. I would do the same thing. I'm gonna try to get my son the best position as possible to be successful. So. And
you just for record, it's not the same sport, but just a young black man who's successful. Do you think there is anything with nepotism?
Of course. I mean, but I think we deserve it. We overdue for it, right? I mean, it's been happening in other cultures and other races for years. So, I mean, why not have our turn?
Okay, cool. Man, I just want to, before we get out of here, and I'm going to let you get back to your kids, your young spinners, to see them back there, they throwing them passes, crazy. So you got a couple good kids, man. Any kids that you're training in particular that you would like to put a spotlight on?
I mean, all of them. I mean, down in Virginia, I got all my senior quarterbacks that's going to graduate this year. 3 of them are going to be signing Division I. Nashawn Wilson, Isaiah French, and Nelson Lane. Actually, Nelson is going to be committing tomorrow, so I'm going to be there for his commitment.
Do you know where he's committing?
I do, but I'm not going to share that yet.
Oh, okay.
I do know
where
he's
by
committed.
the time this comes out, he'll be committed.
Well, yeah, that's true, so I can't share that. He's going to be committing to Army University.
Army? Oh.
Yeah, so that's actually one thing that I learned during this recruiting process with him is the those service academy, Army, Navy, Air Force, they actually have way better packages than regular schools as far as jobs, as far as resources, as far as different things that they get while they're at the university.
Okay.
So it's a lot that goes into those service academies. So, I'm very impressed with them.
So you would say that don't just pass over the Army? And
No,
Navy.
a lot of kids think about that and be like, oh, I'm not trying to go to a service academy, but man, take a real good deep dive into it.
Okay.
I would also say, I can't, if I was to keep naming kids, man, I feel like I would be slighting them. So just everybody that I train with, you can find them on my Instagram page, my Twitter page at QB Coach Lavell. All those guys deserve spotlights, man, and they put in a lot of work to help be successful. So, man, say that.
We're gonna wrap this interview up, man. Can you give us all your handles?
Yeah, I'm QB Coach Lavell on all platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Facebook is my name, Lavell McCullers. You can find me there. Website is aimpassingacademy.com. So AIM passingacademy.com. And those are all my handles, man. That's everything. Man. QB Coach Lavell on everything. Lavell McCullers on Facebook. And then
where can we find these shirts at?
aimpassingacademy.com.
aimpassingacademy.com.
Get you one, man.
Hey, man, it has been a joy. It has been a love, a great time. And I just want to say, as your older brother, as somebody who's always been a big fan of you, even while I was playing, we used to call you Caprific, because you had, the intangibles of both of them. But I am more than proud and honored to see what you're doing, and I just hope that it grows and flourishes into the thing that you want it to, because I think that you're only helping and not just taking from you, but giving back to it. So, man,
yes, sir.
Keep doing what you gotta do, brother.
Yes, sir.
Love you, fool.
Love you
Blessings.
too.
And,
appreciate you. I'm proud of you too, man.
Thank you. And this has been The Conversation.
Yes, sir.